everybody. It is time to wake up because it is Monday morning here on Project Joy Live. It's your triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at this 9 a.m. Eastern Time hour. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and it's always a joy, a thrill, a pleasure, um, a privilege and honor to be here with you in the morning. I'm feeling good this morning. Noting that for the for the journal today. How was everybody's weekend? Let me know. What were the things that brought you joy over the weekend? Did you find joy within yourself over the weekend? Let me know. What did I do? Okay, so let's start with this. Last week was a really tough week for me physically. It was a lot. Me and my body were in an argument. So what it was. And but over the weekend I really did take some time to rest. Also had some time with a few of my girls yesterday, and we did some shopping, a little bit of shopping, and felt pretty good when I got up this morning. I got up early, and I've been on this kick of making a chopped salad for a couple days for me and my oldest daughter, who's out there working hard for the money. And so I did that. And I also was really excited because hopefully you guys can see me. That was really weird. Everything just flashed here. Am I here? Am I back? Let me know. So basically, um, had been looking for an app for a long time that would kind of fulfill the needs that I had to track certain things. Because I've shared about the things with my health over time. And when I go to the doctors, to my doctor's appointments, I kind of have things like all over the place. And so I found an app that I think might work out. I started playing with it yesterday, and I'm going to continue to fuss with it throughout the week, and I will report back on Friday, because I think there's a lot of people that, if you're dealing with chronic things, or if you've dealt with certain, you've started to notice patterns in your health, your well-being. It doesn't even have to be physical health, your mental health, your well-being overall. It's really cool to have a place to sort of track everything together. And this app, from what I've seen so far, really does it. So I'm going to play with it throughout the week. And if on Friday I feel like, okay, this is something people need to check out, I will bring it back up on Friday's show. Okay, deal? Because I really am careful about what I recommend on the show, especially where health and wellness is concerned. Yeah. So I will report back on Friday, but it is bringing me a lot of joy. And so I'm looking forward to seeing if it fulfills everything that I need. So looking forward to that. What else is going on around here? I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, I really laid low a little bit over the weekend. It was really nice to do that. I did teach at the Ripley Dive on Saturday, so that was always fun. We taught about radio buttons. And in case you're living under a rock, the Ripley platform is open to the public. Ripley.com, RIPPILY.com. Go check that out. And you can get a free account and at least set up a little office. And if you need some assistance with that, you can always reach out on social media, or Jessica at thebreakthroughshow.com, and I'm more than happy to help you get a little office set up, to virtual office, to test it out and see if Ripley could be a new virtual home for you. We would love to have you there. I would love to have you there. I'll speak for myself. So the Ripley platform is open. Definitely go and check that out. That's pretty much what I have today. Coming up later on in the show, I'm going to talk about why experience matters more than content. And this ties into a lot of work that I do, and the big rebrand that I have going on, which I'm really excited about for my personal brand, everybody, my personal brand. Miss Sang D's in that VIP seat. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Do you guys remember that, hearing that? Happy joy on Ren and Stimpy. Anybody? Just me. Cheers to another beautiful day. It is such a pleasure, always a pleasure to be here with you. And of course, having someone like Miss Sang D in my life reminds me to often lean into that pleasure a little bit. You know, it is a pleasure to be on this planet and getting to make decisions and choices and have fun and joy and do what we want to do any given day. It is a pleasure for sure. All right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the joy of experiencing, really experiencing things. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss this. And while we're on commercial, go invite your entrepreneur friends because they don't want to miss this either. Here we go.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Project Joy Live. Today is Monday, April 27th, 2026. Last week of April, everybody. What? Couple things I do want to point out this morning. One, let me have my Care Bear, one of my many Care Bear mugs today, guys. And I've got some delicious Dubai chocolate and raspberry flavored coffee this morning. Okay. And also I am wearing my red light party rock shirt. Make sure you guys are, if you're ever in Southeastern Connecticut, go check out Red Lights, one of our favorite bands, along with Don't Tell Lisa, which we're going to see, I think coming up next weekend at Foxwoods. Go check it out. Okay. Our topic today, everybody, I'm very excited about because this ties into the work that I do every single day, whether it's through the Breakthrough Show Network or some of the one-on-one or workshop type work that I do. And this is going to foreshadow a little bit a workshop that I'm going to be doing coming up next week on May 6th. Why am I doing it on May 6th? May 6th was my brother's birthday. And every year I do a pay it forward of some kind in his honor. And so I am going to be sharing all about experiences, content versus experiences, and why we should be leaning into the experiences. And so that's going to be next Wednesday, May 6th at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. So you don't want to miss it. I will drop a link for you coming up this Wednesday, but Wednesday, May 6th. This is going to touch on a little bit of what we're going to talk about during that. We'll call it an experience. Okay. But this is all of this is such an important conversation for a few reasons. And I'm going to touch on really quickly um the some of the things that are the most important around this conversation, because experiences, what does this have to even do with Project Joy? Experiences can bring joy. If we lean into what is it that people are going to really feel when they come into our presence or into our spaces or into our classes or products or services, all of those things. So, I want to talk about that first part, content versus experience. What is the actual difference between delivering content and creating an experience? What is the actual difference between delivering content and creating an experience? Content is simply information. I have shared this before that I knew from the gate, from the very first moment that I thought about creating the Breakthrough Show, before it was even considered to be a network or anything else. The Breakthrough Show itself, I knew that I didn't want to be responsible for putting more content out into the world and that's it, and have it end there. I'm not saying in this that there's something wrong with content. That's what we're ingesting. I think a lot of times there is really watered down content, which I think, cat on a Roomba. I mean, there's time and place for it, right? Sometimes we just need a giggle. But as far as what we're ingesting and choosing to ingest all the time, there's a lot of crap out there. I sat there last night before I went to bed and I was looking at a couple things and I ended up on this video and I said to myself, how did I get here? And I wasn't scrolling long or anything. I meant like, how did I get here to a video like this? How did this end up in my awareness of all the videos, right? It was the weirdest shit you've ever seen in your life. Okay. Um, and so there's nothing wrong with content, but I knew that I wanted more than that. I didn't want somebody to come and watch my show and say, oh, that was nice and wonderful, and then go on and do the same things they always did. I wanted to give them an experience. So content is just the information that's out there. An experience is the opportunity for transformation, because now you're not just delivering content, you're allowing things to start to stick and you're giving a space for people to really transform their lives. Content is consumed, right? We take it in. Experience is something that we feel. You ever hear something and it just completely gives you chills, sticks with you? That's what I mean by felt. Like, really, you're doing more than just taking in information. Content answers questions, right? That's a good thing. I don't think anybody would argue with that. Content answers questions. Good thing. But experience creates moments. Like I said, those moments, those very specific things where you can't get it out of your head. It stays with you. Content is usually focused on what I said, right? It is, truthfully. If I do this show, content, the content that's in it, there's a lot of what I said. I'm on the show by myself today, so I'm just talking. But experience is what the audience, the consumer, the follower, the community member, it's what they walk away with. It's what you walk away with. I would be not fulfilled if I came on this show and talked and found out that nobody walked away with anything. That would be that would be too much. I would quit. I literally would quit. I wouldn't do the shows anymore. If I knew that no one walked away from the shows with anything at all, I would not do the shows. Period. End of story. Content is one way often. Okay. Yes, we have the social media where people can reply in the comments, but you're never guaranteed that it's one way. Whereas when you create an experience, you invite participation. Okay. So I go over when I welcome people to the show and I bring people into the experience and I say, Miss Sang is in that VIP seat today. I bring people in to have an experience with me and not just pretend like the people in the comments don't exist. Right? Saying, yes, it is such a pleasure to hear others use words or phrases I know that lets me know something I said stuck. Absolutely. Absolutely. Content can often be forgotten. And this goes back to what I was saying about the creation of the network. When the moment I created this show, I didn't want it to be they heard it, they might have felt excited or motivated or inspired in the moment. And then afterwards, that's it. An experience leaves an imprint on somebody so that even if they forget in those immediate moments after, it comes back. It leaves an imprint on someone. So content versus experience, two people can say the same exact message. Here's a moment that'll kick you in the rear end as an entrepreneur, okay? Or as someone who just wants to make a difference, okay? Raise your hand if you have ever said something to someone that you thought, this is life changing information here. And then they hear it from someone else and they come to you and say, oh my God, Sang, I heard the most amazing thing today. And I have a feeling my life is going to change forever. Right? And you say to yourself, I just said that to them. You then have to realize that perhaps you gave them content and not necessarily an experience. What you shared didn't necessarily leave an imprint. Now, obviously, we can sometimes we have that realization that sometimes people hear things when they need to hear it. Sometimes it doesn't land because they're not in the right space. But like I said several times before, I always go back to what can I do to create a better experience? And 9 times out of 10, I'm telling you right now, it's less about the space that they were in and more about the fact that I did not create an experience when I gave them that information. I didn't do anything that would have added to the ability for them to be able to really feel and have that information leave an impact on them. Okay, so and when your content matches your physical energy and vice versa, either online or in person, you're doing something to leave an imprint. Now, I'm going to fight back a little bit on this. I'm going to fight back a little bit on this because I mentioned earlier about a lot of my the challenges that I've had over the years with my health. My physical energy doesn't always match. It just doesn't. And a lot of times that creates extra work for myself because I have to be able to express myself in a different way so that people understand that it's not necessarily how I'm saying it, but to focus on the what I'm saying. And so I think I honestly, I don't even like to have the physical energy conversation because then I start, and I know for people that are in similar shoes as me, we start feeling like we are not enough because the way that things are being presented or the physical energy that we have, it doesn't match what's happening up here or in here. It doesn't match. And it's really, really hard to sit with that and feel like, man, I want to today I just want to be like that person I saw on stage who was super bubbly and excited and energetic. Sometimes I don't have the capacity, but it doesn't mean that I don't have amazing experiences to share with people, right? It doesn't mean that I'm not of value. It doesn't mean that there isn't something that somebody could go, wow, that made such a difference just because my energy was lower today, you know? Um, and so, uh, yeah, no, I don't, I think physical energy is a really tough, conversation. And with the people that I have worked with over the years that also are in that challenging space where physical energy is really tough for them, it can lead to a space of comparison. And we can agree to disagree on this topic, but yeah, no, it's a no for me. I don't want anybody to watch this show and start feeling like they can't they have to it feels very comparison to me. And I don't like how that feels at in the slightest. But so two people can say the same message, but one creates a moment that you remember. um a checklist email versus an email that makes someone pause, reflect, and feel seen. Now, this is an interesting topic too, though, because a lot of people are in this space where they're creating um, those storytelling type emails, right? And I think those are good if they tie into what the point is, right? But sometimes it feels like it's storytelling because someone told them that storytelling works. And that's not really that's not tying into what we're talking about here of creating an experience. Um a show episode versus a moment where someone says that was for me. People don't come back for content. Ultimately, they come back for how you make them feel. And that's the difference between creating content and creating an experience for someone. Some of the other parts that I'll be talking about in the workshop next week are emotional impact. Why do people remember how something made them feel more than what was said? Applications across platforms. How does experience design show up in shows, events, communities, and even in emails? We're going to talk about some of those very specific things broken down. How can a show be broken down? An event, a community, an email. Experience isn't about the platform. It's not about where this is done because you can create an experience absolutely anywhere. We're going to talk about the creator shift, which this part lights me up 100%. What changes internally when you start thinking like an experience creator? This is where you stop asking, what should I post? And start asking, what do I want people to feel? What should I build? What do I want people to feel? What should I email? What do I want people to feel? That big shift that needs to happen internally. And finally, we'll talk about audience transformation, which is something that's really important to me. How does creating an experience deepen connection and engagement with your audience? We'll talk about the things you can do, what you'll start to notice, and a deeper layer as well. So, at the end of the day, I think it's really important to remember that content fills space. Experiences create moments, and moments are what people carry with them. And they don't forget. It stays. I feel very, very confident that we have changed lives on the Breakthrough Show Network because of the experiences that we have created here. And it's not me just making it up, it's hearing from people, it's seeing. Every single day I get to see it. And I feel so honored to be able to be at the helm of those kinds of experiences. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, we're going to take one more quick break. One of my favorite experiences is listening to Dorothy Auger read her poem for love, and we'll be right back after this.
I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love, for the world is wounded, not just my little piece of land, where I am mostly safe, where I am mostly well, but our world, everywhere, every day. I shall stand for love, because we need more light, not more death, not more power, not more bombs. I shall stand for love, so that our children are safe, so that our friends are sheltered, so that our borders are open. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart.
I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I used to, when I would play that poem on the show, I would check over my notes for the next segment. I would go check out the comments. I would, sometimes scroll on social media for a minute because we read that poem every day in the morning. But one other part of this conversation that we'll get to talk about in the workshop is, what is the responsibility? Is there a responsibility on the audience to be part of the experience? So many times, people will say things to me like, I tried to meditate, it didn't work. Tried an affirmation, it didn't work. I tried to breathe, do breathing exercises, it didn't work. And typically in those, I would say 99% of the time, it was they did it one time and that's it. And that's it. Well, of course it didn't work. Those are tools. Those are things that we have to practice, right? As time goes on. And so yeah, it's an interesting thing. So now when I play the poem, I will sit here and I will really feel it and be in the moment. So we'll talk about in the workshop as well. We will talk about, is there a responsibility on the audience, the content consumer, and all of that, to have a moment with it, to be a part of it, to be part of the experience as opposed to just being a consumer. So we'll talk about that as well. Welcome and good morning, Olivia Ambani. Always happy to see you, and so happy to see you on a Monday. Yes, on a Monday. Sang was saying, you made me feel safe when you locked the door for Soul Coffee on Saturdays, and you described the structure in a way that then made me feel held and supported. And I appreciate that. And it's interesting too, because as this gets into the conversation about the audience, or the consumer, or the attendee, the member, whatever. Um, a lot of people could process a locked door in a different way. Some people could be like, oh, I feel locked in, and that doesn't make them feel safe. Whereas other people, like Sang's talking about, felt like, wow, she's protecting us. She's helping us to feel like what we share in this space is valued, appreciated, protected, and it makes me feel safe. And so those are some other things that we'll dive into as well. As I mentioned, on Wednesday, May 6th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be hosting a workshop about all that we have talked about today, and it is going to be 100% completely free to attend. There will be a donation button if you would like to leave a little tip slash donation. You're welcome to do that, but completely free because it is my brother's birthday, May 6th, and I always do something to help provide value for somebody on his birthday. So that's going to be 12 o'clock Eastern Time on Wednesday, May the 6th. So definitely tune in for that. I will have a link for you on Wednesday's show. All right, you guys, we are going to go to birthdays. Who's ready? Let's do it.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. Let's see. In the world of that's not birthdays. That's the meal plan. How many? Okay. I want to know from you guys, if you guys have a notepad in your phone, how many notes do you have in your phone? This is a competition. Okay. Tell me how many notes in your phone. If you're on iPhone, when you go to your notes, it'll tell you how many notes that you have. I want to know. So I'm about to either feel really bad about myself or I'm going to feel right at home. One of the two. Let me know in the comments. Okay. So anyway, in the world of birthdays, celebrities, Lizzo is 38 years old today. Happy birthday, Lizzo. Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy is 42 years old today. Ace Frehley from Kiss passed away last year, had a birthday today as well. President Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th president of the United States, who passed away in 1885, also had a birthday today. And one of my favorite, listen, this one got me riled up when I saw it. David Lasher, 54 years old today, incredible actor. He's so funny. I watch him and Christine Taylor all the time on the Hey Dude, the 90s Called podcast. And I got to meet 3 of the cast members from Hey Dude. The one that I have not met in person is David Lasher, and it hurts my feelings. David Lasher. Okay. So what I need for you to do, David, is you need to, I don't know if they've asked you. If they hadn't, we need to have a fight with them. But if they asked you to come back to 90s Con in October, I need for you to say yes, because we got to hang out. We got to hang out. Okay. And of course, I'm going to go see my girl Christine again because I had so much fun with her last year. But happy birthday, David Lasher. Also, the celebrities in my life. We have a Breakthrough Show Network alum that appeared on My Way a couple years ago, an old show that we had about being an entrepreneur that does things outside the box. Craig Siegel has a birthday today. CLS Experience. Make sure you guys go check him out and wish him a happy birthday while you're there as well. So, all of that said, let's get our birthday song on. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lizzo, Patrick, Ace, Ulysses, David, Craig. And that's it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. I hope you have an absolutely incredible day. Going back to notes in our cell phones. Notes in our cell phones, everybody. I now feel better about myself. And this is part of the beauty of creating an experience together. I said before we did birthdays, how many notes do you have in your phone? If you have a notepad in your phone, how many notes do you have? Olivia has 548 notes. Okay. I feel like we're going to play Name That Tune. How many notes till you can name that tune? Sang has 2,779 notes. What? I have I now feel way better about mine. We have 548, 2,779. I have 397. I thought that was a lot. I get roasted by my children about how many notes and tabs I have open and all of these things with my phone. They roast me all the time. I am being roasted over here, you guys. I'm doing well. Okay. I will say this. At some point at the end of last year, I did go through and delete a good bit of my notes. So I probably would have been closer to you, Olivia, for sure. But my kids are always ragging on me between how many notes I have, how many tabs I have open, how many tabs I have saved, whether it's my phone or my computer. They never let up. You think, oh, I'll have a nice child. This'll be fun. They'll love me. They will love you and they will roast you. And it's a constant feeling of never enough. Okay? Never enough. Never enough. I currently have 5 tabs open on my laptop. Okay, I only have 3 on here, but my because I keep this one pretty as I'm going live. I keep it pretty cleaned up. But my other laptop, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that one right now. Okay, I know I get roasted all the time, all the time. Maybe it's a millennial thing, multitasking. So I take a lot of pride in that I am technically an exennial. I know that Sang is Gen X. I am an exennial because I'm literally on the year that it switches from Gen X to millennial. And you're only a couple years behind me, Olivia. So I almost would bet. Do you feel like, because let's have this conversation for a half second about generations. Do you feel the generation that you are? For those of you that are here, Sang, do you feel Gen X? Olivia, do you feel millennial? Most of the time, I feel very Gen X, but I do have some of those millennial tendencies. So that's why I'm like, I think I'm pretty exennial for sure. Like, there's so many things with Gen X that I feel really really connected with. Okay, Olivia feels good about millennial, Sang feels good about Gen X. I've never felt 100% about either one. And so when somebody told me that, I was reading a thing the other day about exennials actually, and that being on the line is actually really interesting, because there's so many things that we've gotten to experience sort of on both sides of the fence. And so I don't know, maybe it's I'm going to go with, you know what it is? We're just amazing is what it is with the multitasking. I don't care what generation we're from. We are just amazing, period. End of story. We're just amazing. That's it. We can lean all the way into it. All right, you guys, I am going to be back with you all for another episode of Project Joy Live on Wednesday, April 29th. Coming up on Friday, we have Danielle Valero back on the show, and we're going to have so much fun, you guys. We're going to have so much fun on Friday. Why? Because Danielle and I are going to be talking about Saturday morning cartoons and our favorite cereals from the 90s, okay? Or breakfast items. Because I'm like, cereal. I love me a toaster strudel, a Pop-Tart. I may have to tell the microwave on fire story again. Who's ready for that if you didn't hear it last year? Was it 2 years ago I told it? I don't know. But that clip was hilarious. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. So put your footy pajamas on, get your favorite stuffed animal because we are going to have a super fun, nostalgic, fun Friday episode next on Friday as well. So I'll be back with you, like I said, on Wednesday. And don't forget, on Wednesday, I will be giving you the link to sign up for my workshop about creating an experience for your audience next Wednesday. Okay? All right, everybody. I love you all so much today. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. And we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.